What's up, game players? How are you guys doing? I'd like to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle Podcast, episode number 52. I'm your host, Keon Mitchell, and let me take this time out to tell you guys thank y'all for tuning in to another week of the Analog Circle Podcast. Now, if you want to listen to some previously recorded shows, you can go over to Stitcher, you can go over to, Audio Mac, SoundCloud, iTunes, as well as iHeartRadio. And go over there and check out some of them, as well as, I keep on forgetting to mention this, it's a YouTube channel as well, where the episodes of the podcast are up over there at the Analog Circle Podcast, as well as videos that I've put up of The Last Guardian, which has been trying, brother. It's been a hard time, and I actually have a Twitch channel as well. You can go over there. It's John Doe 1579. Go over there to Twitch, and I'm going to try to get this streaming thing going the best way I know how. Right now, it's a little shaky, it's a little rough, but as time goes on, I'm going to try to smooth out the kinks, as it were. But outside of that, man, let's just jump right into this week's show with the feedback section. Yes, we're going to start off every show from now on with the feedback, because I feel like, hey, if you took the time out to write into the show, then I should be cognizant of your time and put you in the forefront, because that's what the Analog Circle Podcast is about, getting that feedback from all of you guys that are passionate about gaming, and I appreciate the interactivity that you guys have with me. Now, of course, you guys know that the all-star Mr. Cody Clark of this section did write in. And it's greatly appreciated every week, because you guys know, like I say all the time, he's been the heartbeat of this section for so long. And it's such a happy time to hear his emails and read them. But we did get a new listener to actually write in. So I gotta shout out this gentleman as well. His name, he goes by Obscure Observer. And if you guys might have forgot the question that I was asking you guys last week, I was asking you, what does Xbox Scorpio need to be successful? Now, Mr. Obscure Observer, he wrote in and he says, not much. If it delivers on power and great games, I'm positive it will outsell the Switch and the PlayStation 4 Pro, but not the base PlayStation 4. Mr. Obscure Observer, let me first off thank you for writing in. It's greatly appreciated, man. I tell you, I love this section. Just getting that feedback is great. And to his point, yes, I would agree that they definitely, if they can push that narrative of power, which is the thing that really put the PlayStation 4 way above the Xbox One, even though it wasn't a huge gap in the power, it was a bit of a gap. And Sony was able to play on that and was able to have people feel as though, hey, they have the best platform, they have the most power, they're doing 1080p, they're doing 60 frames per second, or whatever the heck, the narrative was. It changes from day to day. And they were able to actually overcome Microsoft in a huge way, where they just took the lead and they never looked back. And outside of that, the price point was another huge reason. Connect was another huge reason. But I think that if Microsoft actually the price point as well, they have to have a very good competitive price point. It has to happen. That's what they need to do. And if they don't do that, that could be another huge strike. So as long as they, in my opinion, get the price point right, they get exclusives, don't concentrate on the PC so much. That's the thing. Concentrate on the Xbox One. Get the exclusives on there. The PC might not be hurting you to a certain extent, but doggone, just make some exclusives, AAA exclusives on the daggone Scorpio or Xbox One to help people have incentive to want to buy the console. But I'm rambling though. But Mr. Obscure Observer, once again, thank you so much for tuning in and writing in. Now, of course, like I said, Mr. Cody Clark, he did write in, and he has a pretty lengthy email, and I'm very, very happy and very excited to read it. Now, the name of his email is Anula Scorpio. I hope I read that right. You know, sometimes my reading skills do fall, but we'll see how this goes. He says the Scorpio needs to have a killer app. Horizon Zero Dawn has blown people away and wowed people. Everybody will hold this above Microsoft's head, especially with the death of Scalebound. Oh man, you ain't lying. Never mind all of the top crap games for PlayStation 4, the mismanagement of PlayStation Vita, and the joke that has been PlayStation VR, all has been forgiven due to Horizon. It's true. That is just how flash in the pan media is. So native 4K, Oculus support, and a bunch of already playable games. Great. Xbox needs something mind-blowing, a reason to drop $500 or $400 for a Scorpio, a Mario and Zelda crushing, Uncharted ignoring reason. What that should be, I don't know. It's going to be part of Xbox's boutique marketplace now, with the Surface Pro and skipping the HoloLens 2 to go for the third generation HoloLens 3 in 2019. It just has to make them money and keep them in the market. I think Microsoft is in it for the long game. They screwed up with the smartphone and the tablets. Their Surface found its niche. The OG Xbox was a tank of a machine, and it was leaps and bounds bigger in games and processing and memory than other systems. If they follow that path and go big, they will probably strike gold. But yeah, I need some games. I look at the landscape and I just don't care. Mr. Cody Clark, I tell you, brother, you hit on quite a few points, and I want to start at the beginning. And wait a minute, let me thank you again for this email. I have to say, man, since Horizon Zero Dawn's reviews have been coming in, oh my goodness, we have to address this. We have to. Everybody is chanting, oh, PlayStation is amazing. They're awesome. The games are here. They're for the players. Horizon Zero Dawn is the greatest game this year. I'm like, brother, slow the brakes down. You know, hit them a little bit. You still haven't seen Mass Effect Andromeda yet, which is coming out this year, along with some other various titles. It's a big year, yes, I get it. Sony is finally getting their stuff together. They got the exclusives coming down the pipe, but my goodness, the media bias, I do believe is real, because we have to also address this. Microsoft, when they first came out the gate, for the first 3 years of the console's lifespan, of the Xbox One's life, I should say, not the span, but the life of the console, they had exclusives left and right. And nobody really wanted to bat an eye. They're like, yeah, you got this and you got that, but we feel like it's niche. It's not mainstream enough, or it's not going to be good enough. I mean, you got a whole list. You had Quantum Break. Of course, you got your Halos. You got your Gears of Wars, and you got your Forzas. But then you had your Ori and the Blind Forest that came out. You had your Dead. What was it? I'm so pumped up I can't even think. Dead Rising. 4 that came out. They had exclusive Sunset Overdrive, and everybody just seemed like they swept that under the rug. God dog it, I'm all tongue-tied and whatnot, but it seems that way. I'm not saying that it actually was that way, but it darn sure seemed like it. Now all of a sudden, Sony, you know, they're getting their bearings. It took them literally 4 years. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had some games that came out in between, but you figure they're finally getting their bearings, and now all of a sudden, you know, they got another big hit, Bam! And trust me, it's no hate, man. I got the console. I'm getting Horizon on Tuesday. You better believe I'm copping the heck out of it. But, it just seems like that as soon as this comes out, oh man, Sony is the greatest. So I think that I kind of went off on a tangent there. My bad, y'all. God, dog, got sidetracked like a mother. But, to Mr. Cody's point, yeah, Microsoft, they need to come out with the games, man. They need to have that one killer app that has everybody step back and say, ooh, look at Microsoft a little different and say, God, dog, that's what's up. I need that in my life right now. You know, if they can get that one game, and don't put it on PC. I'm sorry, PC game players, don't be mad at me. I'm just saying. Like I said last week, if you want to move units, if you want to have the Xbox Scorpio appear in people's homes, then you cannot options are good. They're great. But if you're giving PC gamers, which are definitely, it's a huge number of PC guys out there. A big number. If you're giving them the option to buy those games on another platform, then you are, to me, to a certain extent, some people might disagree, and you are more than welcome to, and shoot right in, doggone call in and tell me why you disagree. But I think that if you're trying to move units, you need to keep some stuff on your platform exclusive to give people a reason to go out and get your darn console. Now, of course, if they get the native, like Cody said, if they can definitely keep it native 4K, which I gotta tell you, Cody, I'm a little skeptical about that too, brother, because they're saying that they're not doing the checkerboard rendering, but they're doing sparse rendering, with the 4K. To me, it kind of sounds like they might be one and the same, but I think that they definitely need to hit that 4K native mark, because Microsoft is under such high scrutiny and they're under such a microscope that anything that they do that does not line up with what they said, they will be scrutinized and beat down to a bloody pulp, because people are looking for a reason right now. So Microsoft, they need to come off without a hitch with that 4K native resolution. That's another thing. And they need to, like I said, they need to have the price point right as well. That's something they need. But overall, like Cody said, the games, make sure the games are there. He said he looks at the landscape and he just doesn't care. And look, I'm an Xbox fan, brother. I have been up front with you guys and told you guys from day one that is my preferred console. I love it. I love the Xbox brand, but like I said, also the PlayStation 4 has really been winning me over with some of these great games that they've had, and Horizon is just another notch in the belt. So Microsoft needs the games. They need to come out with some title, something that's just a mic drop, something on the lines of having like Half-Life 3 or something appear. That's not gonna happen, but I'm just saying, just as an example of how much of a big title that they need to shut down that news for that day and have them totally concentrating on Microsoft. They need that AAA title. Hopefully they will come up with it. It's been talks and rumors about Bethesda actually making a game that's exclusive to the Xbox Scorpio. We'll have to see, man, in the future. But Cody Clark, my man, 100 grand, thank you, brother, for writing into the podcast. Be sure to, be sure, man. If you want to be a part of this section, write in, man, or call the doggone hotline bling. Call it, man. Shoot. All right, y'all. Well, hey, what the next section of the podcast, God dog it, what have I been into? Man, I'm gonna tell you, I've been into The Last Guardian, brother. I got to say, this game is it's very trying as usual. Still having a hard darn time, but I gotta say, man, I finally figured out what the heck happened. As I was playing the game, it gave me a new perspective on it, newfound, I guess a bit of respect for it because the way they drop you into the game, you just don't know what the ham Sam is going on out there. But then as the game goes on, it does explain. So I was very happy to see that, and it really made things come into a better, it just made things click a little more. So I was glad to see that. The game is still trying. I still haven't changed my opinion on it. It's a solid, 7, maybe a 7. Since I got more context with the story, maybe a 7.5. I'm flip-flopping between the 7 and the 0.5, so, but it's still an okay game. Just controls are janky, but it's fun. I don't know if it's fun. It's trying at times, brother. But anyway, moving on from that, that's all I've been into, but I'm gonna tell y'all already what I'm gonna be into this week, and that's gonna be Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm gonna let you know that, so hopefully I can get enough hands time on, to actually give real solid impressions, because what I hear is the game is gigantic. It's very big, like on the Witcher 3 scale of big. We'll see how many side missions it is and how many activities it is to do. Hopefully it's not a shallow world, but god dog, that game looks beautiful. And Sony, they just keep coming out with some hits, man. They coming out with the hits, brother. But we'll see. But anyway, outside of that, let's go ahead, man. Shucks, and jump into the gaming news, my friends, that went down. Starting out with, what is this? Oh, man, did y'all guys know? Listen to this, man. Now, many game players, right? They loved the Nemesis system, and what was it? Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. I have not played it, by the way. And it was considered to be one of the best innovations in recent gaming. The doggone Nemesis system, they remembered who you were when they saw you. Oh, I remember you. You killed my friend or something like that. Well, anyway, the franchise since then has been silent, right? Until right now. Now it looks like the game is getting a sequel because of Target leaking the news early. It even going as far as to leak the box art. Now, the name of the sequel is Shadow of War. Now, according to the article, the sequel will follow the story. Well, the story itself will be based on Talion and Celebrimbor. I hope I said his name right. I think I did not. But basically, they were the two characters from the original Shadow of Mordor. So they will be making a return, and they will be working to forge a new ring that's as powerful as Sauron's. Now, the Nemesis system will return, of course, and there will be a new stronghold mechanic that will be built in, as well as new special abilities. Now, as of now, there is no release date, but hey, it has to be on the horizon soon. No pun intended, darn it. But, thanks to Target, at least we know. As long as this is true, things do happen, and sometimes things don't always come out to be like they look. But god dog, I saw the box art. It looks pretty darn legit, but nowadays, who can't make something look legit? I heard that they've been selling fake Dooney and Burks and Coach bags for years, man. And people can't tell the difference unless you're an expert. So just saying that this may be true or it may not be. But I'm not going to rain on the parade. Let's keep hope alive that this is a sequel and it will be coming out very, very soon. Moving on to the next story. Now, this is some PlayStation VR news, which I got to tell you, man, this blew me away because I was not expecting this. Now, listen to this. In the PSVR news stream of things, Mr. Andrew House, this guy's feeling very good about the results of the product. Now, the PlayStation VR, since its launch in October, this is staggering. Since its launch in October, has sold 915,000 units. Who the world knew this was even a thing? Since October, 915,000 units. Now, the hardware is coming mighty close to reaching Sony's internal goal of selling 1 million units in 6 months. Now, this report is actually from the New York Times. Now, the New York Times also noted that neither Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive have stated what they have sold. Now, analysts have made rough estimates, but not concrete numbers. And it's been said that their install base is smaller than the PlayStation VRs. Now, this is the thing. I gotta be real, gotta be completely just vulnerable right now in my honesty of how I feel about this. I don't even think that's a word, but I gotta say, I did not expect for the PlayStation VR to take off like a rocket, because you hear the reports that it's failing. It's not doing as well as Sony hoped. It's not, reaching those benchmarks that they really wanted it to do as far as sales go. But here we find out that Sony made a goal, an internal goal, to sell 1 million in 6 months. Here we are. We're not even at the 6-month mark yet, and they're already at 915,000 units. To me, this says, Sony, you're doing great. You are outworking your competition. And I mean, it's kind of an unfair comparison, because the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro, you pick one up and it's just already compatible. With the PC, you have to meet certain specs. You have to meet certain, gigabytes of RAM, and just all kinds of different, different specs that you gotta reach to be able to run these peripherals. So it's kind of an unfair, comparison, but you gotta compare them because they're all in the same space together. Kind of like Nintendo, who says that they're not competing, but they're in the same space, so you gotta be competing. You have to. It's kind of like that, and I mean, I understand that the PlayStation VR is the cheapest headset amongst all of the other ones, and that also gives it an advantage. But hey, whose fault is that? That's the other people's fault. They should stay competitive. That's all it is. Sony just got the jump on y'all. They got the jump and the drop on y'all. So congratulations, man, to PlayStation for selling 915,000 of these joints. That is really, really a heck of a number. And it looks like they are going to make their doggone internal goal of 1 million before the 6-month period. As long as they continue to support this thing, don't do like you did with the PSP. Don't do what you did with the Vita. Just keep things constantly coming out and you'll be just fine. Matter of fact, it is, well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But moving on from this story, God dog, PlayStation on fire, y'all. But moving on. Now, some more interesting news has come out about Zelda Breath of the Wild from a Reddit user by the name of Noob10. I've actually reported some stuff from him before. Noob10, he seems to be pretty accurate. A lot of people trust him in the industry, that what he says is pretty much accurate. So he's come up with another situation here with Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mr. Noob10, who actually spent an extensive amount of time in the world of Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course, and has come up with the size of the map. Now, this was after he factored in this guy, god darn, he did a whole lot of freaking work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, he actually had to factor in the time needed to travel from one side to the other, the speed travel, and how much of the map can be visited. Now, after he did all of his calculations and all of these math equations, I'm throwing stuff in there. I ain't say all of that, but he came up with a number that I must say is pretty freaking impressive. Now, the final tally came up to 836.1 minutes of travel, which actually breaks down to, this is that math right here, brother. It breaks down to 5,300 acres, which would make it a quarter of the size of Manhattan, or 1.5 times the size of Elder Scroll 5, Skyrim's world. Elder Scroll, what was it? I forgot the name of it. Elder Scroll, the latest one that came out that got remastered. I can't think of the name of it, but that one is 1.5 times bigger than that world. Now, simply put, man, it's one of the largest single player open world games ever created. Now, for me personally, that's what he's saying. But for me personally, I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but I guess we'll find out soon. But man, he said that the only other world that he could liken this to was The Witcher 3. Now, for any of y'all, God dog, who have played The Witcher 3 knows that daggone world is colossal. It's a whole lot to do, whole lot of side missions, a whole lot of land to travel by the horseback. It's a whole lot going on in that game. And if Zelda is on par with that, with the scope and the land and the doggone hugeness of the map, then this is utterly amazing. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. I don't really need to play Zelda. I got The Witcher 3. That's where I'm at. It's not going to be better than The Witcher 3. Oh, some people are saying game blasphemy, Keon. I know. But I say, I don't think for me personally, it's better than The Witcher 3. We all have different tastes in gaming, so don't come with your spears and your doggone torches after me, brother. I'm just giving you my point of view. But I must say that this is very impressive. Goodness gracious, 1.5 times as bigger than the Elder Scroll 5. That is amazing, man. In that world, we all know that those worlds are gigantic. So kudos, Nintendo, on your Zelda coming out. The game, by the way, I can't front, man. It looks beautiful. It looks so beautiful. I'm looking forward to hearing the reviews. And my goodness, can you guys believe that this week the Switch actually releases it? It just dawned on me. Holy cow. The Switch is out this week, man. How many of y'all are picking that up? Holla at me and let me know. But either way, Zelda fans, I think y'all are going to be very, very, very happy about this game. We're going to move on to the next story. Now, there is a rumor. Oh man, I'm kind of pumped up about this. There's a rumor that Shenmue 1 and 2 could be getting remasters this year. Now, this is according to a UK blog and online retailer entitled Rice Digital. Now, Rice Digital said that their source is trusted and very close to Atlas. Now, the report also stated that both Shenmues would be released together rather than separately. So once you buy the package, you're getting 1 and 2. You don't have to worry about picking this one up, then the next one following suit a month later or something like that, but you will be buying them together. Now, it is one thing worth noting, which is somewhat of a downer, or it could leave a huge question mark on whether this will come to other people. Now, the source did say that they could not confirm if the game would be released on the Xbox One or even the PlayStation 4 for that matter, but they did say with confidence that it would be coming to the PC via Steam. So for us console guys, man, it's a big question mark in the air. I'm guessing at bare minimum for the console side, it will come to the PlayStation 4 because they were the ones that actually put Mr. Yu Suzuki up on the stage to get the Kickstarter started for Shenmue 3. And I just don't think that would sit well with Sony, that they would just X them out of the equation fully, by not getting the remasters, but putting them on the PC. I don't think that would be a good move. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. But either way, it looks like they could be coming out with the remaster this year. I'm going to tell you something, man. Look, listen, I played Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2. I did. I own both of them. The other one was on the Xbox. Shenmue 2, I did not finish that game. I got so frustrated when I was actually trying to catch a leaf in my hand from a tree. I had to keep kicking the tree and I couldn't figure out how to get the leaf in my hand or something, or you had to catch it with some chopsticks. I can't quite remember. All I remember was frustration. But I'm gonna tell you, man, the first Shenmue, it was man, it was interesting. It had the quick time event, something we hadn't seen at the time since Dragon's Lair. Yu Suzuki had put that into the game and it was cool. It was a cool game, but I don't know how well those controls have aged. I'm going to just put that out there. I think it'll be okay. I'm sure they'll rework the controls, and people are so pumped up for Shenmue 3 and wanting to get their hands on it. This would be a great move if this is true, to actually get this remaster out, to get people reacclimated with the franchise, and for new game players to come in and be able to start at ground zero with the game. So we'll see how it goes, but right now, no guarantee that it's coming to consoles. Moving on into some, oh man, I had to catch my breath. Some Mass Effect Andromeda news. Now, we know March. God dog, March is a pretty freaking huge month. It's pretty darn huge. You know, you got the Switch coming out, and you got the highly anticipated Mass Effect Andromeda that will be coming out as well. Now, for us console, as y'all PC guys call us, console peasants, as y'all call us, which that really burns me up, by the way. But hey, it's all good. You know, y'all have to, unlike us, this is the difference. Unlike y'all, once a game comes out for the console, we're good. We pop in the disc, we download the game, and we're off to the races. But you guys, you gotta check the box, you gotta check the requirements, you gotta check the recommended and the minimum. So for you guys, this is for you. Now for the PC, these will be the requirements that will be necessary for you to play this game. Now, you guys will need to have, now we're going to start with the minimum requirements. You're going to need an OS 64-bit system, either Windows 7, 8.1, and Windows 10. For the processor, you're gonna need an Intel Core i5 3570 or a AMD FX 6350. Now, for the memory, you're gonna need 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, for the graphics card, you're gonna need to have an NVIDIA GTX 660 with 2 gigabytes or a AMD Radeon 7850 with 2 gigabytes. You're gonna need, as far as hard drive space, you're gonna need to have 55 gigabytes of hard drive space, and you're going to need to have, as far as DirectX, you're going to need DirectX 11. Now, for the recommended specs, you're going to need, of course, the same OS and all of that stuff, but I just wanted to jump into the meat of it. You're going to need, a iCore 7, God dog, 4790 or a AMD 8350. For the memory, you're gonna need 16 gigabytes of RAM. For your graphics card, you're gonna need an NVIDIA GTX 1060 with 3 gigabytes or a AMD RX 480 with 4 gigabytes as well. So, God, dog, and shout out to Mr. Chad Harper over there in the circle, the Analog Circle, Facebook group. He actually put this up. I saw where he put it up. I said, God, dog, that's kind of interesting. So I went on and, said it here, but thank you to Mr. Chad Harper, and shout out to the whole Analog Circle crew over there, over on the Facebook group. But man, look, this looks beefy. Okay, these recommended specs, standard specs even seem like they're somewhat beefy. I don't understand all of the PC, the actual, not jargon, but what all of this stuff means. I'm getting a little better at it, studying it a little bit more, but I'm just saying, man, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Chad Harper also said that he believes that because of this, now, I hope I'm not taking what he said out of context, and Chad called me out if I did, but he was saying this makes him believe more so that the Xbox Scorpio will get 16 gigs of RAM, which would be dope because we see that that's where PC gaming is going. And since for right now, Microsoft is really concentrating on the PC side of things, that it would make sense for them to put as much to try to make it as much on parity with the PC as it can for the time being. And putting 16 gigs of RAM in there sure would put it at least on par with the memory side of things. So we'll see how this goes. But Mass Effect Andromeda, whoa, this game looks so good, man. I am anticipating the heck out of this game. I can't wait till it comes out. Very excited about it. You guys, I posted a video over in the Facebook group over there. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not my video. I actually just linked it from YouTube, and you can go over to YouTube and check it out even, because I just like to keep it honest with that stuff. Never try to make myself out to be bigger than what I am, because trust me, I'm a small fry podcaster that enjoys the culture, man, the gaming culture. But anyway, I'm moving on to the next story, which is PlayStation VR related again. Now, this is what I'm saying. Say what you want about Sony with their support, and I've always definitely been hard on them about their support of their peripherals and all. I mean, the Move controllers, that went away kind of quickly as well. The camera didn't really stick around too long either. But I gotta say, I mean, I know that it's still early with the PlayStation VR. It's not even, like I said, been 6 months yet. So, of course, the doggone, the support should be there very heavy. But I have to say that they have another game, another PlayStation VR game entitled Dying Reborn that's actually being made by Oasis Games, which is a China-based developer. They're actually releasing an escape horror game. That's what this is. Dying Reborn is an escape horror game. And this game is actually coming out this Tuesday, February 28th, which is another game in the PlayStation stable, because it just says it's PlayStation. Let me read some more of this right here. It's coming out February 28th, and it's going to be available as well as on the PlayStation 4. So it looks like you may not need the PlayStation VR to play this. It actually said as well that the Vita release date will be announced at a later date. Now, the game is an intense horror-themed first-person puzzle game that slaps you into the role of a distraught young man called Matthew, who is on a mission to find his sister after he receives a mysterious note from her. So it looks like, another horror game. Maybe this was in the works way before Resident Evil 7 decided to switch it to the VR mode. But either way, this is another game coming out on the PlayStation VR, which is dope. I like this. I won't be picking it up. No, because I actually don't have a PlayStation VR. I'm waiting for that price drop, brother. I'm waiting for the $300 price drop. That's what I'm waiting on. So we'll see how this goes. February 28th. So tomorrow, during Horizon Zero Dawn, this will be coming out. Moving on into some Resident Evil 7 news, keeping with a little bit of the horror theme. Anyway, I don't know what the heck's going on with me. Resident Evil 7's next DLC will feature a very familiar face. Now, who might this face be? Of course, it is Mr. Chris Redfield with I messed that up. He will be featured in the next installment of DLC that is going to be entitled Not a Hero. Now, this will be free. Oh, shoot. This is going to be free, y'all. Oh, darn. This will be free and will be released in the spring. Capcom confirmed. So here we go, Resident Evil 7, Chris Redfield, one of the long stays in the franchise. This cat has been in Resident Evil 1. I believe he was in, I don't know. I don't know about the other Resident Evils. Did he show up in 5, man? Did he show up? I don't know, because they had so many other offshoot characters. They had Leon in one. They had Claire Redfield in another one. I don't know. I'm not very diverse in Resident Evil lore, my friends. But either way, they got this guy coming. He's getting ready to get it in, and he's not gonna be a hero. Not a hero. I guess maybe he got some things he's dealing with, and I don't know. We're gonna move on because this is getting ready to turn bad. A King's Tale Oh, shoot, that's right. Okay. Now, with King's Tale, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that was actually a pre-order bonus for buying Final Fantasy 15, will be free to download on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 on March 1st. Now, this is according to DualShockers. Why am I getting excited? Why am I getting pumped up? I'm going to tell you why real quickly, friends. Okay, game players? Listen, I was over my buddy's house. Shout out to Chris. Doggone it. Chris, my man, 100 grand. Chris, I was over his house. He had pre-ordered Final Fantasy 15. This guy's big, really big in the doggone Final Fantasy. This guy loves it. So I'm like, man, how do you like the game? He's like, oh, it's dope. I'm on a chocobo. I'm riding around. I'm getting it. You know, like 2 Chainz and whatnot. He's riding around and he's getting it, folks. I said, this is dope. He said, but I want to show you something. I said, what you got? He said, man, look at this. This came as a pre-order bonus with the game. He said, go ahead and check it out. This side-scrolling beat-em-up joint was pretty darn dope. I'm telling you, it looked like in the vein of maybe, like Final Fight, Streets of Rage, you know, kind of in that kind of lore of, things. And I gotta tell you, man, oh man, it was really dope. So for them to be giving this away for free March 1st, as long as this is true, like I said, this is a report from DualShockers that this game will be free on March 1st. Please pick this up. Hey, for free. Listen, man, you know my motto. If it's free, it's for me. So this game, I mean, I gotta say, it was fun. It was fun. Check it out. Get ready. March 1st, man, March is really stacking up to be a nice month. Whew! Moving on to the next story. Now, this is one of my favorites. Y'all know, anybody who's been listening to the podcast for quite a while, you guys know how I feel about Bulletstorm, brother. Well, some more news came out about this, and I'm so pumped up. I dug it. Now, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition is gonna take up I'm here just all messed up. It's going to take up to 13.94 gigabytes of hard drive space, and some of the features will include 4K resolution. This is, of course, on the PC and the PlayStation 4 Pro that you're going to get that 4K. Now, the game will also include all of the previously released add-ons along with new content, and the game will run at 60 frames per second. Now, I don't know if it was running at 60 or 30 on the Xbox 360. It was a smooth clip to me, so it felt like 60. It felt like it was Call of Duty speeds, but maybe it wasn't. But the thing that has me pumped up about this, I mean, 13.94 gigabytes. That's not what I'm pumped up about, but wow, that's actually very, very, very small on today's doggone scale of how big games are to actually put on your hard drive. So I'm pretty pumped up about that. Wow, what are they doing? I understand it's a last generation game, but what are they doing is so different than somebody else that needs 42 and 38 gigabytes. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway, the thing I'm most excited about is I'm definitely picking this up for sure. This comes out in April, I believe April 17th. Don't quote me on that date, but I do know it's in April for sure because I'm on the lookout for it. But I'm hoping, the hope, and you guys have heard me say this before, and I sound like that broken daggone record. I know I do. I'm on CD repeat right now. But I'm hoping that this really sparks the interest from other game players out there to give this game a try. I'm telling any of you guys out there who have not tried Bulletstorm, I mean, now it's no need to go back to the 360 version or the PS3 version because you'll have a new one coming out on the horizon very soon. But I just implore you, man, just check the game out. It was so much fun. I know that we all have different tastes. Like I said, my taste may not be your taste, but I just recommend, even if you do get it on the 360, it's like $4. Check it out. It was so good, man. And I'm just hoping that this spawns a sequel because the situation at hand in the game, I'll just say it felt like it was more. It felt like it was a lot more left. And man, I just really want to see that come to fruition. So anyway, I've carried on way too long about this doggone topic. We're going to move on from Bulletstorm, but definitely be on the lookout for this one, y'all. Moving on to the next one. Now, crazy enough, like I said earlier, I just want to reiterate this. We're on the cusp. Yes, we are on the cusp of a new gaming console. Now, of course, that's the Nintendo Switch, which will be released March 3rd. Now, the lead up to this console has been filled with many questions. Now, one of the biggest questions being, how long does the battery last when you're playing it in mobile mode? You know, you just got the Switch screen itself. How long does that battery last? Now, this is a report according to CNET.com. They said that when they were playing it, the battery life lasted 3 hours and 15 minutes while they were playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, this is the other interesting thing. They also went on to say results can vary because they said that their friends over at GameSpot had reported that the Switch lasted 3 hours and 3 minutes while they were playing Zelda. Now, the other spot that was called Game Explain, they got 2 hours and 28 minutes out of the doggone Switch in its mobile mode while they were playing Zelda. So you can go from 3 hours and 15 minutes to 2 hours and 28 minutes as far as what the how long it can last. Now, it was also said that there are different settings that you can use to actually expand the life. I guess kind of like your cell phone. You know, you turn down the brightness on your cell phone. It makes it last a little longer. You get a little bit more juice out of it. So, you know, they were basically saying that when you're in this mode, you have to toy around with the settings to get it to where you feel comfortable with it and you can kind of get the most out of the battery life. But either way, it does seem like, for the most part, now I know that these guys, they have to take the Switch through its vigorous paces, really, you know, just taking it through, you know, I mean, as hard as they can. It looks like doggone Game Explain really, like I said, pushed the boundaries. But that could have been because they didn't have the brightness turned down. They could have had certain features on, or, you know, whatever's in there. I don't know what it exactly is in the doggone portable side of the Switch, but either way, Nintendo wasn't too far off because, like I said, you know, the times kind of add up. You know, they said you can get up to 3 hours. So it seems like that, they were honest in that. And, hopefully, like I said, with the settings and all, you can make it better. So, hey, anybody that wants to switch, I'd be happy to hear from you guys. You know what to do to get in contact. Moving on to the next story. Now, NetherRealm, the people behind Mortal Kombat, and also behind the new upcoming Injustice 2. They will be revealing a new character for this game on March 2nd. So for any of you guys that are definitely looking forward to Injustice 2 and want to see who's on that character roster, this is it. March 2nd, be on the lookout. Now moving on into the very last story of this week, and this is a really cool story. I was happy to see this. From now on, moving forward, 343 Industries has said that every Halo game will have multiplayer split screen. Now, if you guys remember Halo 5, you know, Halo 5, people said it wasn't that good. I haven't played it yet. I still haven't picked it up. That was supposed to have been the first game I reviewed, and I did not pick that up. My apologies. Brother's pockets was kind of, you know, on short back then. But, Halo 5, you know, it didn't have the split screen and all of that stuff. And they said the reason why they did this was because they, gave this up for, the reason why they said this happened, God dang it, get it together, Keon. They said that this happened because they wanted to concentrate on a smooth 60 frames per second gameplay experience and overall visual fidelity. Well, as far as Mrs. Bonnie Ross goes, she said that from now on, this will not be the case. People complained. They really wanted the split screen. Me, I could have cared less. I don't even think you need split screen for real. But I mean, that's just me. But see, I'm in a whole nother boat. I mean, you got other people that have siblings, brothers and sisters, that have to share the console, and don't nobody want to wait for the controller. They want to jump on. So for people that actually have that situation, and people that love to have people over the house and play the multiplayer together, it does affect those people. And I'm not belittling their feelings. I mean, hey, it goes to show that 343 and Bonnie Ross, they said, hey, look, from now on, all of you guys, look, listen. We're going to put this in every game moving forward. This is something you guys won't have to worry about. So Microsoft heard your plea. They heard your complaints. And now this is something that you guys will not have to worry about in the future of the Halo franchise. Guys, that is it for the gaming news this week. But hey, you know what? Stay tuned, because we're going to get into the last section of the podcast where I have to ask you, the listener, the question of the week. So stay tuned, and we will be back after what I love to call video game. Man, we'll be back after this video game theater, goddog. Y'all stay tuned, guys. Oh my gosh.
But the question is where? Now that I've got a phone in my room, I don't use payphones anymore.
I see.
Do you want my phone number? Or will your girlfriend get mad?
No, it's nothing like that. Maybe next time, okay? Excuse me.
What is it?
Where is Amihama?
Oh, you mean the harbor. There's a bus that goes there. Take a ride on the main street, and there is a bus stop there.
Right. About Amihama?
If you're going there, there's a bus stop just up on the main street.
Oh, that's right. Thanks a lot. Excuse me.
Yes? What is it?
Do you know anything about the old warehouse district?
Not really. There aren't any decent-looking men there.
You don't say.
The security guards are crude and nasty, always staring at my ass when I walk by. Once, when I stopped near the entrance to read a sign, one said, "Stop looking, move on."
Is that so? Excuse me.
Huh? What is it?
I'd like to ask you about the old warehouse district.
I'm in charge of traffic information here, so I don't know much about the warehouses.
Is there a Chin-sun over in the old warehouse district?
Maybe, maybe not. All I can tell you is the owner there is not Japanese.
He's not Japanese? The owner there.
I heard from my coworker that he's either Chinese or Korean.
Could that be Chin-sun?
Well, I don't know about that.
Gotcha, thanks. About the old warehouse district?
I don't know that place too well.
I see. Kurita-san.
Yo, how are ya?
Do you know anybody who's familiar with the harbor?
I hardly know anyone over there, man.
And welcome back, game players. Welcome back. Now, before, this just hit me. I should have said this way earlier in the podcast, man. It just hit me. I got to shout out Mr. Michael Jakunski again. Now, you guys might remember last week I had that Name That Game challenge. And, if any of you guys that are interested in entering that, you still can, because Michael actually forfeited on winning. He said that since he had won not too long ago, he wanted to give another listener a chance to win. So I have to shout him out for that, so after he said that, he kind of got me to thinking about something. Now, right now, a lot of people, they don't enter the contest, and that's fine. That's cool. It's not a problem at all. But he made me start thinking, before things possibly could get to the point where more people are entering, maybe I do need to set some parameters. So because of Michael saying that, since he had won before, it got me to thinking that in order to keep it fair, that, from now on, if you do win 1 month, the next month you have to sit that one out, just to be fair, so that it can kind of go around to different listeners. More people have a chance of winning, because I'm going to tell you, Michael, this guy is really darn good. I have not been able to stump him yet on that challenge. So he's like a shoo-in almost, you know, as far as being able to figure out what game I have up there. So because of that, like I said, that rule will apply in the next Name That Game contest. But like we said, if no one does enter the contest in the next 2 weeks, then he's going to win by default. So just giving you guys a heads up that if you were interested, you still have time to enter. Just listen to the last podcast. It's right at the beginning. You don't have to worry about going through the whole podcast to get to it. It's right there. And just enter. You know, you can, like I said, you know, the links and all to go, not the links, but the contact information to type in to get in contact with the show, and tell me what game you would like to have, or if you would like to have the gift card. It's totally up to you, but I had to say that. But moving on into, like I said, this is the last section, and every week, you guys know I have to ask you guys' opinion, ask you a question, the question of the week. Now, that question of the week this week is, should Microsoft stop putting exclusives on PC? Now, the reason why I'm actually an advocate for them stopping this. Now, PC guys might not be happy to hear that. I don't know. I don't think PC guys really care. Really, I really don't think they do. But, I think that Microsoft should stop putting their exclusives on the PC. Just like I said earlier, you have to give people, the game players, incentive to buy your console. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the show, there are millions upon millions of PC game players out there that spend a lot of money on games. It was one place that was actually talking about the revenue that PC gamers bring in, and it is astronomical. I believe I read those numbers off. That was a couple months ago, way back. But reading those numbers, PC guys do spend money on games. They do, you know, and it's so many of them out there that by Microsoft actually opening up the floodgates to have every exclusive that they have on the PC as well as on the Xbox brand, then they're not giving the game player a reason. They're like, shoot, bump it. I'll just stick on my PC and that'll be that. But I think that if Microsoft was to take this away and you know, just tailor it better to better suit selling their console, then I think this would help them in the long run. That way PC guys would have to look and say, well, darn, I can't get that on the PC. I got to buy an Xbox. If the game is worth getting, then they'll pick up an Xbox. It's just like, it can be likened to what Cody Clark said earlier. You know, they have to have a big AAA title that turns people's heads. And if you put that on PC, then you have just taken all of the wind out of your sails, Microsoft. They're going to turn around, pick it up on PC, and that's going to be just what it is. So that's my opinion. I'm not going to ramble on too long about this. I would love to get you guys' opinions on this matter. You can reach the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com to voice your opinion, or call the hotline at 443-261-4607. Once again, I have to shout out all of the people over there at the Analog Circle Facebook group, Mr. Chris Hornaday, Mr. Chad Harper, Mr. Mastino Davis, Renee Royster, all of you guys that are always putting stuff up in the chat. It's really appreciated. So thank y'all for that. And with that, guys, this is going to wrap it up. This is it, man. So until next week, when we do it again, you guys take care, and remember, it is not about the console, baby. It's about the games. Y'all take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.